we're back. Episode 18, 19, 20. I'm not really sure what episode this is, but I'm glad to have you back. Welcome to the Real Business Roundtable.
Welcome.
So, today, what are we talking about?
Today we're talking about quality versus quantity. You get what you pay for. I think it's very important for everybody watching to understand that, because us as consumers and shoppers, we tend to look at what's the cheapest price, what's the best deal I can get. And when it comes to certain industries, products or services, that could actually bite you in the butt.
I was going to say, in some circumstances, you want to go, quality, because you want to pay more because it'll last longer. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's two sides to that.
Something as simple as buying something in the grocery store, something that's not organic, something that has, a lot of preservatives and not the best ingredients or the lowest quality ingredients, is going to be the cheapest.
Yeah.
And when it comes to services, that's the same thing. If you look for the cheapest price, pretty much guaranteed that if you're paying the lowest price possible, you're not really getting the best quality or the best performance out of that.
Yeah.
So I want to lead this discussion with services. So as entrepreneurs, business people, we're hit with vendors all the time. Get this, buy this, sell, this will help your business. Use this software, use this, use that. And we are overwhelmed sometimes when we're trying to look at, a solution. And let's say there's 5 different options. One option, let's say, is $1,000. Next option is $500, and the other option is $100.
Yeah.
You can I can guarantee that $100 option, even though it feels good that you're paying $100, you're not getting shit. It's not going to do anything.
What type of industry are we talking about?
Let's just talk about, say, digital marketing or whatever.
This could be in literally any industry. And we talked about this in the last episode, or not the last episode, in one of the last episodes with the business ideas, is you got to have options for, every customer. And so there's going to be people who are going to be spending more money for a higher quality product. And then there's going to be people who just want access to that product, going for the less priced, service or product.
Yeah. So when you're looking at any product or service and you look at their price point, you have to think in your head as a business owner, if I'm paying this really small amount, what are they paying for? And what's the quality of their fulfillment? Yeah. And what is the level that I'm going to be provided at that price point? Now, if you're paying, say the $1,000 option, you can probably be comfortable knowing that you're probably getting qualified people doing your work. And it all breaks down to, for example, let's say you're getting someone providing search engine optimization services, and one search engine optimization program says $5,000 a month, and the next guy selling it to you for $250 a month. Well, anybody in the industry knows that a qualified search engine optimization person and a team that's working together, their salary is significant enough for you to kind of wonder, okay, how are they paying that person if this is so cheap? So you can kind of sniff out, am I getting a quality service or am I getting a quality product? Now, when it comes to products, let's just take, and I'm not going to name drop, I don't like to do that. I have there's one candy that I love. And
you just took it down a route that I wasn't expecting.
No, I'm going to talk about a product.
Okay.
There's a candy that I love, and I found out that they use artificial cocoa.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And I was really disappointed, and I looked at the ingredients and found out that was true. There's artificial cocoa in this candy. It's a popular Halloween candy. So
Tootsie Rolls?
No, I don't want to say the name.
Okay.
They did that, so probably, most likely, based on my opinion as a business person, is they want to please the board of directors by showing maximum levels of profitability. So sometimes businesses make this mistake where they are thinking profit, 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 profit. If you constantly cut corners and focus only on profit, not on the quality, you risk losing a portion of the marketplace that wants to pay for quality.
Yeah.
People will pay for quality. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, Whole Foods. Whole Foods sells quality food with quality ingredients.
Think about clothing too.
Same thing, yeah.
Me in my position, like I don't like wearing big logos and all that stuff, but I will go for a higher quality pair of jeans because they will last longer. They won't rip. They're higher quality jeans, or even a shirt. You know, I used to buy I used to go out and I would get 10 just like cheap shirts, just shirts that I can wear. But then in 3 months, I'd have to go get a new batch of shirts because they would shrink, they would wear out. But, I realized then I started buying, higher quality shirts, higher quality products, and they lasted longer. It just all around, I was probably saving money because I wasn't having to go and buy shirts every other month. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So this could be in any industry.
Yeah. And with the candy, you will see now where there are natural organic brands that are now putting out natural forms of that same exact candy. And what made me really happy was that original candy that went with the artificial cocoa. They now offer an all natural, or even on top of it, organic version of that candy.
Yeah.
Because they had competitors coming in.
So look at it this way too. So with the artificial cocoa, and just in this circumstance with the artificial cocoa, they could probably get like a ton of product out. They could get a massive quantity of product out. But with the more organic version, using the real cocoa and the more quality version of their product, they probably can't get as many out. So it's more expensive.
Yeah.
It's just supply and demand.
But if you want quality, whether it's a product or service, you have to understand that it's going to come with a higher price point.
Yeah.
Because if it's a service and it's leveraged and there's employees doing the work.
Yeah.
If you're paying more than the other bids that you got, you're pretty much guaranteed that you're going to be getting a higher quality service because it trickles down. You pay that company to do the work, the highest price possible. That price trickles down to their overhead to pay for the product of work. And if they have qualified people that are going to produce results for you, then you should understand that you're going to get quality back. Now, if you work with somebody that's going to charge you a couple $100 a month, are you really getting the quality? Most of the time, no, you're not. And I think it's important for both the entrepreneurs that get hit up by different vendors or the business people that want to cut corners all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to impact your quality. And when you impact your quality, you will lose customers. People will sniff it out and people will see. Yes, the purpose of running a business is to provide a solution to a problem or whatever, but that should be done with the highest level of integrity where you're trying to make sure your client gets the best product or service possible by not cutting corners that are going to impact product or service quality.
Yeah.
You can cut other things that aren't going to. So for example, if you're running a little rich as a business and you have some weird things here and there that you've been, subscription here for some weird thing, it's not really benefiting you. It has nothing to do with, the lifeblood of your business, which is sales, and it can be cut it.
Yeah.
If you cut it and you notice it doesn't impact the quality of your product or service, then absolutely cut it. Make your business more profitable. But once you start chipping away, focusing on only profit, cutting corners, that's when we see disasters happen.
Yeah.
Where we get hit up all the time by people who say, hey, outsource your work to this other country and you will be twice as profitable. Yeah, but what will the quality look like? And hey, let me see some of your work. Holy smokes.
Yeah. So
it's bad quality.
And there's nothing, sometimes those are good to get into the industry, right? So let's say someone who has a smaller budget is trying to get into, working with an agency.
Mm-hmm.
Those agencies aren't bad to start off, that have the template websites and that have
It's good as a Band-Aid. It's a temporary.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a temporary Band-Aid. But when you want to roll with the big boys,
then you have to go into something that's way more customized and catered directly to you and your business, not your industry. And yeah, no, 100%. It's just levels. It's levels to this.
Developers aren't cheap.
No, not at all.
Good developers are not cheap.
No.
And you can find a shitty developer. Yeah, he'll put something together. It'll be glitchy. It'll be all tons of errors and
Won't
issues.
work for SEO that well. Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, focus on quality. And this goes with everything. You could go for construction.
It can go for...
what type of materials are you using? When you're building that house, are you cutting corners, providing shit materials that are going to fall apart in 5 years and piss off the customer and make your construction company look bad? So think first before you go ahead. Now, if the customer's like, I don't care, I'll go cheap, make sure you have some kind of acknowledgement from them in writing that, hey, this stuff isn't going to last forever. It's probably going to need to be changed out in 5 years.
Yeah.
Cover your butt. As a business owner, cover your butt in those situations where someone is extremely budget conscious.
Warranties.
They want the cheapest thing in town. Okay. But you always need to, and ethically and morally, tell them the risk factors of going with the lower quality. Like, say it's a roof. You say, hey, this roof's going to stop peeling maybe in 5 years. Do you want to go with this higher quality option that's fully warranted and guaranteed? So, but it applies to every single industry.
It directly correlates to what I went through recently. I bought a car, and they gave me the options of warranties, and just like any other service, you'd probably been online and you went and you looked up something, and it showed like columns, and it said this is what you get with the gold membership, this is what you get with the elite membership, this is what you get with the silver, platinum, whatever it may be. Same thing when I was buying a car and I was getting a warranty. I had options. I had literally, like, it was like silver, gold, whatever. And, I ended up going with the higher valued one because I wanted to just make sure that I am, covered for the next however many years.
Yeah.
But, in some circumstances, people may be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take the risk. All I need is a little bit of a warranty for the next year or so. And so they go with the lower level warranty. Mm-hmm. Any business needs that. It needs to be catered to every type of customer in order to scale your company. If you have one product, it may be a little bit harder to scale the company because you're only targeting and you're only catering to one type of customer. Whereas if you have the options where it's the price difference or whatever it may be, obviously it's going to come with a little bit of change. Like, they're not going to get as much value as the more expensive, option, but there's more options, which means more scalability.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But for people that are watching that are business people, just remember, like, whatever it is within your business that you're trying, so you look at your business, you look at all of your overhead, anything that impacts say you're a restaurant and the quality ingredients you use in that dish, anything else in your business, your rent, your insurance, any other bullshit that doesn't impact the product's quality, absolutely look into lowering that and cutting that. Because if you have a lower insurance rate, it's not going to impact how good your chicken parm is or whatever it is that you're selling. Like, it's not going to affect that dish. No. But let's say somebody's using 100% real olive oil. They're not using fucking canola oil or crap seed oil in their dishes. It's real shit.
Yeah.
People are going to appreciate that. One time I went to a restaurant, and I'm not going to name names. It was in an area that had a good reputation to have good restaurants.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with my son, and I'm a wicked foodie, and I'm a wicked, like, I know when I'm eating shit. And we're sitting there, and they pull out the bread, and there's some oil. And I'm looking at the oil. I'm like, wow, that olive oil is really green. I was like, it was almost too green. So then, my spidey senses went up, and it was expensive, by the way, the restaurant. We're sitting there, we're just eating our oil and bread, waiting for our entree. And my son was probably 6 years old at the time. And he's like, Dad, this oil tastes weird. And I'm like this, tasting it, and I'm like, and I go, hold on, let me get some of this. And I'm like, I smell it, and I'm like, this is vegetable oil. Waitress comes over, and I said, hey, I'm just curious, what kind of oil is this?
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, that's olive oil. And I look at her, and I looked at her, and I smelled it again on the piece of bread, and I said, where's the container this came out of? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, how about this? I said, if this is olive oil, 100% uncut, I will tip you 100%. Obviously, the server wants that.
Yeah.
I'm like, go find out. So she runs down, talks to the owner. Took a little bit. She came up and she's shaking her head, laughing, going, the owner told me to tell you that you are really good. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you were the first person. She goes, it's vegetable oil. I'm like, you guys are like a high-end restaurant giving me trash oil to dip my bread in.
Damn.
I'm paying top dollar. I'm paying top dollar for this entree and this food and this experience in this restaurant. You're going to give me shit vegetable oil? Like I was like, what? I was not rude, but I was just kind of like, and that's how I got it out of them. I said, I will tip you 100%.
Yeah.
If you can prove to me that this is olive oil.
That's happened to me with tequila. I'm a big tequila guy, right? I like my tequila. I'll sip tequila. There was one time I wasn't even in the state. I was out of state and I got high-end tequila. I wanted to sip it. I wanted to just enjoy it. And it was watered down. I was like, this is not, I literally, the server came up to me and I was like, listen, I'm not going to ask you to take it back. There's no ice in this. This is not what you gave me, but it's okay. And they were like, oh, are you sure about that? Are you okay? I'm like, this is not, like, trust me. I know, like, this is not it. Like, you put water in this.
I feel like,
or it's just a lower, or it's just like not
I feel like if restaurants are going to pull that, and it's not just with olive oil. There's like diners that will use fucking margarine for butter.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
What are you doing putting margarine on my toast? I don't want margarine. Margarine was created to fatten up ducks or whatever it was used to fatten up turkeys. Yeah. I'm getting crazy. So margarine, if you're going to serve margarine,
this is slowly turning into a just chatting episode.
Tell the customer, no, it's about quality.
I know. I'm kidding.
Don't position it like butter.
Yeah.
Margarine is trash. It's trash. I don't want to eat that garbage. Give me something good. Or if you want to offer the trash,
make sure people know that you're offering the trash.
Have an option A, B, and C. Sir, would you like a level 10 breakfast, or would you like a level 2 breakfast? And have some people who care about what they're putting in their bodies and their mouths. Because I believe that real natural, especially grass-fed butter, is good for you. I will smother that shit on some organic sourdough bread and go to town. I don't want to be eating stuff like that that's extremely inflammatory. Like we've had other episodes where I talk about how health is important to me.
Yeah.
If I'm at a restaurant, by the way, the restaurants I'm referring to have great reputations. People don't know what they're shoving in their mouth, but someone like me, where I pay attention to quality, I'm like, okay, this is trash. What is this, real butter? And they'll come over, no, it's margarine. I'm like, do you have butter? No. What am I supposed to put on my toast? Yeah. And what are you cooking my food in? Yeah. Holy crap. And like, and that restaurant that had the fake olive oil never went back.
Really?
Never went back. They lost a customer.
You know what's funny is that that's a high-end Italian restaurant, right?
Yes.
But then if you go to like Bertucci's, which is not high-end, like they're good, they're chain. You'll get like olive oil, or not your average Joe's. That place has the best fucking oil.
Yeah, so like little stuff like that people see. Or if you like go in the bathrooms and they don't run hot water, you're like, how is the staff washing their hands?
I've never dealt with that. That's happened to you?
Well, if you go to a restaurant and they don't have hot water and they're just running cold water, they're trying to save money on their water bill. But it's like, are these cooks' hands clean?
So that's all quality over quantity. And so like I was saying, it's different in every industry. In the food industry, it's very different. Like it's all about how you want to be looked at, like seen as. It's all about how you want your customers to see you as a business.
Yeah,
right?
and another thing thing to be careful with as a restaurant owner, people have soy allergies. Margarine is all soy. Vegetable oil is mostly soy. People have soy allergies. You know, people freak out about peanut allergies, but what about soy allergies? So get rid of that soybean shit and put some real olive oil. Like, for example, I'll give you an example of a breakfast place that I absolutely love. They will, if you don't want the fake maple syrup, that's another one I could go all day about.
Yeah.
You can pay for an extra little thing of real maple syrup.
Yeah.
That I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Let me buy my real butter. Let me buy my olive oil. Let me buy my real maple syrup so I'm not putting garbage in my body. That is a factor when it comes to restaurant quality. If you're going to give your customers good quality food, good quality ingredients, you will get customers that will come back over and over again. And I always give people the Pressed Cafe analogy. He has all good ingredients. It's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but you are putting good food. It is
way more expensive, but it's great food.
You are putting good food in your body, good ingredients, whole foods, all that stuff. You're putting that in your body, and it's better for you. Pay a little bit extra, and if you're like, well, just try to eat a little bit less.
People innately want to be more healthy.
Yes.
Right? Some people don't really give a fuck, and that's fine. It's, whatever. But people naturally want to be more healthy. So, for example, with Pressed, he provides a better product because it's higher quality food. It's better food. It tastes good. In that circumstance, people don't normally even look at the price. Sometimes people do, but the people who you're catering to don't look at the price, and they come back every day.
Yeah, Whole Foods is still in business. People would call it whole paycheck.
It's all about.
I see a million people there.
It's all about options. At a restaurant, you just said if they had this, this, and this, and this, like if they had the option for me to buy the better, higher quality oil or the higher quality butter or whatever, you would be more happy there. It's all about options, especially in the restaurant industry.
Restaurants, good.
You'll find when you go to a higher end restaurant, every single dish that you order. So I'm talking about a high-end restaurant. Every dish that you order, it's made for you. They say, what kind of side would you like? Are you okay with this type of butter? Are you okay with them cooking it this way? Yes, that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And then it's amazing.
As a business owner, regardless of the industry you're in, so let's say you're in digital marketing or you're in construction or you got a restaurant or what, when you look at the quality of the deliverable and what is the customer going to get, you need to keep that in mind, that if you cut corners, like using bad ingredients or bad materials or shitty people that don't know what they're doing, it's going to bite you in the ass when it comes to quality. If you have, let's say you're a service provider and you have someone that doesn't know what they're doing and you're just trying to fill a chair, that's going to bite you in the ass in the long run, where someone goes, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, or these materials suck. It's starting to peel. What did you build for me? Or these ingredients, they sell someone who knows what they're eating. They can taste it. They can smell it. They're like, oh, this is crap.
So this reminds me of the story that I told in the last episode about. So in that situation, and this brings up a good point because this is this is any sort of manufacturing goods. It could be literally anything, plastic goods, it could be bottles, it could be paper goods, it could be, cleaning products, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. In their situation, they were chasing the quantity. They haven't even gotten the quality of the product down yet. They didn't have they didn't have the quality of the entire product down yet. So when they got this big order, it fell apart because they weren't able to fulfill. So I want to talk about that as well. I think there's a couple stories about that where they were chasing the quantity and we're talking about a product, not food, like a good, something that's shipped, something that's bought in a store. Mm-hmm. You're chasing that quantity at the beginning of your business. You want all the orders, you want them all, but make sure you can fulfill those orders. Make sure you have the quality of the product down set so that when that big order comes in and when that quantity is demanded, you can supply.
You're going to get a bunch of returns and you're going to lose all the vendors that are selling your product. You just don't want to set yourself up for failure like that. Yeah. You need to pay attention to quality.
Yes.
Because that is going to go a long way with customers. They're going to be open to paying a little bit extra to get that quality.
Yeah, today, if someone says, oh, well, we don't want them to pay extra for our product, whatever it may be, today, people use DoorDash and they don't give a fuck. People pay for shipping and they don't care. Like, people are paying more. They're just naturally paying more for that convenience. So don't worry about people, like your customers not paying more. They're going to pay more if you have a quality product.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to services, as long as you are upfront with the customer that it's going to cost more if they want better quality, and they want that quality fast, they want the performance fast, they're going to need to pay.
It's all about convenience.
Yes.
It's all about convenience.
Yes.
If it's convenient for someone, Americans are lazy. Come on, let's admit it. We're lazy, right? If there's some of us if there's a convenience factor, or if there's like I was saying for the restaurant, if you have options, that's convenient. If you had options for that oil, for that butter, that's convenient for you. You're going to pay extra for that. It's just like DoorDash.
I'm not calling anybody out by name. Business owners that are watching this, don't be offended. Just take it as almost like
criticism,
an opportunity to do better.
Yes, and
an opportunity to do better.
This is not an opportunity for us to call anyone out. We're here to help. We're here to educate. We're here to inspire.
I understand that some small businesses, they need to make money. They need to crunch numbers. I understand it. I feel the pain. I understand. But
there's risk in starting.
There are people that will pay for quality. They're looking for quality.
Yeah.
And if they weren't, those high quality places and those high quality products and the high quality services would not exist if there was not a market for the higher quality options, if there was no customers for that, those other businesses would not exist. So that's something to keep in mind. Don't be afraid of offering a higher quality option.
I don't know if this is just me, but I may be wrong, but ever since the beginning of COVID, people have, I don't know, because like people don't really look at they don't shy away from the paying more for the convenience. Like people are spending more. Is that just me, or I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. Like I remember back, before COVID, it would be like the cheaper options. Like let's just go with the cheaper option to save money. But now people are just naturally getting more comfortable paying more because of these apps like DoorDash, and because of these apps that, provide convenience, and because of the convenience options.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's if there's a correlation at all.
Yeah. I wanted to give an example of getting an app developed.
Okay.
So let's say you're out there, you're shopping for an app. You're shopping for an app, and you're talking to 5 different app developers, and one guy gives you a price of $10,000, one guy gives you a price of $50,000, one guy gives you a price of $200,000. Let's just say you can guarantee the guy that's going to charge $200,000, he has a team of qualified, experienced developers that are going to create a badass app that is going to be an asset that is going to produce revenue over and over and over again, as long as you have a sales team or a process in place to sell those subscriptions. Yeah. So you look at the $10,000 guy. Oh yeah, it's only $10,000 for that app. Well, you know what? It might be glitchy. Might take forever to get done. There's probably going to be issues. They're probably going to get you on some kind of support package where you're not allowed to do anything, where they do all the support, and you got to assess what you want, what you're paying for, and always try to go, if you can financially afford it, just go for the higher quality option, or go in the one in the middle. Don't go with the cheapest. Like you was just showing me those packages online.
Yeah.
I was kind of leaning towards the middle.
Yeah.
Most people are going to be attracted to the middle because they'll get some quality, but it'll be still affordable. There's nothing wrong with that.
It all depends on the situation. If this is an opportunity, and don't look at it when you're going into these situations, just look at it at an unbiased point of view. You don't want to look at it like, oh, I want the cheaper option because it's going to save me money. You want to look at it, is it going to make return? Is it going to help me get a return? Am I going to make the money back? And then you're when you think about it that way, then you look at it and you're like, okay, well, maybe it does justify the risk, which is going to be the next episode, of spending a little bit more money. Risk versus reward. That you got to really look at that stuff. You got to try, you got to look at all your options, because in these situations, you'll probably get your money back.
And I just want to create some more structured direction in this episode so everybody knows. This episode is about quality versus quantity. You get what you pay for. There's 2 sides to it. There is the business owner side, right? When you're looking at your product or service, how can you maximize your profitability without impacting product or service quality and performance, okay? There you have that side. Then you have the other side, more of the shopper's side as the consumer, or even B2B. You get hit up by a bunch of vendors. The other side is when you are shopping around, do not shop on price. That's immediately a commoditization strategy, which is going to just send you down a black hole. For example, if we're talking to somebody about growing their company, we get hit up all the time. We're talking to all these different businesses and they want to grow their company. You know, some people, they say, oh yeah, I want another $5 million in sales, but they don't want to, they expect to spend $20,000. That is not in line with going towards a quality option that will likely get you there. That's a hope and a dream.
Yeah.
And you're throwing oatmeal against the wall and you're hoping and dreaming that will work.
Yeah.
The cheapest option isn't always the best.
No.
So
it's like I said before, it's circumstantial.
Yeah,
It's all about the circumstances.
Like some kind of technology or add-on or some tactic to help a customer grow their business. Let's say it's going to take 300 hours just in the initial phase.
Mm-hmm.
You can add up average salary and how many people that company has, and you're like, oh my God, this is really what I'm paying for. I have a team working on this stuff versus like one guy doing it that would quote you really high.
Yeah.
You better make sure that person has a track record, and to confirm, did you do all this yourself? Did you sub all this stuff out? Like what? Understand the mechanics, logistics, and the operations of that vendor that you're thinking about hiring, because if they have a really low price, your red flag should start to go up and you should start to dig deeper to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I've been contacted by companies and I'm like, and I do a little bit of digging and I'm like, okay, that's what's going on, because this price was way too low.
Yeah.
I had a company, they contacted me and I said, why are you so cheap? And they explained to me very intelligently, we have an automated system that's driven by AI, and this is why our delivery is so inexpensive. They intelligently explained to me why, and I ended up working with them. If they just told me like, yeah, we got a couple employees, and I go, whoa, this is not making sense. How are you paying your people?
Cool. Yeah.
But when you have like a robot doing it, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
It's justified. So a recommendation to the people watching is do your homework, investigate a little bit, but look at it in two sections: quality versus quantity on the consumer side, and then also you as a business owner, your product or service, quality over quantity. Just make sure that you don't, whatever you cut in your business to be more profitable, don't keep your product or service in a protective bubble. And when you're going through your P&L, anything that impacts the lifeblood of the business, which means sales, attention, eyeballs, anything that impacts that, or the materials, or the staff, or the talent that you're using, keep that in a bubble. Don't mess with that. Anything else like insurance or whatever, you can negotiate new deals, rent, other overhead that if you do change it, it's not going to impact the quality.
Yeah.
But I think this was a great
I was just going to say, I mean, that pretty much kind of
wraps it up.
Wraps up what we were talking about. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you got something out of it. With these sort of episodes, like we said before, we're trying to be educational. I hope no one takes any offense towards any of this stuff. We're not trying to say
we didn't name names. So if somebody does, cut corners like that, they should treat this as an opportunity to learn and
understand.
To assess.
We're just trying to help people. That's all we're trying to do. But like I always say, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have any questions about anything that we said, and we'd be happy to answer it on another episode. Follow us on Instagram for any updates and clips. We're also going to be posting shorts on YouTube and all that other stuff. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Peace.